Hey everyone, it's Jeremy Gilchrist. I'm in Aruba on my hotel balcony, and I just had an epiphany, right? It's cool in life when you can, when you're reassured that you're doing the right thing. So here's a good story about it. I went to Chicago with one of my leaders. I have many that work in the Chicago market, but I went to Chicago, and on the flight home, a day before I came here to Aruba, on the flight home, one of my leaders said, you know, what do you suggest I do? And I said, well, I don't know if this will make sense, but why don't you reinvent yourself? And I didn't really know if I was saying the right thing, but I just went for it because I felt like I reinvented myself over the last couple of years, meaning the ability we all have to decide who I'm going to become day by day, which turns into month by month, year by year. So him and I had a talk, and he said, you know, I'm going to reinvent myself so people can see the real me because I'm hiding it. I'm going to show my strengths, my weaknesses, and over time, he's a smart guy. He goes, I understand over time I'll become that person I want to become. And it's crazy because I then packed bags the next day. I flew here to Aruba, and I hear Nick Sarnicola, one of my great friends and a guy I seek, advice from a lot, tell us as leaders it's time to reinvent ourselves. So that reassured me, wow, I'm really on the right step. So I wanted to share that because I think it is so cool. I don't want to come out and say because it's so important to changing your life. I'm not like that. I'm going to say because it's fun. If you can find a way to learn from what I'm going to share, but more importantly, put it to action and have a blast while you do it, that kicks butt. Here's what I mean. I think earlier in the video I talked about a jar of marbles and how they're all our thoughts and our beliefs or our disbeliefs, and good color marbles, bad color marbles. Usually we all come to a point in our life where we either have a lot of bad marbles and memories and negative thoughts in our minds, or we have good ones. So how do you go from here to here? So understand you have the ability over time to create a whole new mind for yourself. The way you think, the way you react, the way you treat people, the way you listen instead of talking, so on and so forth. So think about that. Think of it like, and I'm not ashamed to say, sometimes I feel like I'm a robot because I have the ability to take programs out and reprogram it. So if you're that kind of person, maybe you're creative and you're thinking, yeah, I do. I like to draw, I like to do this, or maybe you like systems. Whatever you like, find a way to see it as you have the ability to reinvent, reprogram who you are. It's going to be a process, but figure that out. Figure out first, who do I want to be? What kind of person? What are my daily activities? How do I treat people? Do I party less? Do I talk to God more? Whatever it is, why don't you write out the ideal person you would love to become? Even if it seems far-fetched or like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy, why not? Because you have the ability to look at it and say, okay, this is going to take time, but we all have emotional intelligence enough that you can look at the person you've written out and that you want to become. That ideal person, right? That character, the robot, however you want to see it. And this is who I'm going to become. You can look at it and figure out what traits you can start working on now and the others will come later. Right? You can figure it out. I believe in you enough, and I know you do, that you can figure it out. You don't need guidance on that. So write out, who am I? Who am I going to be at the end of 2013? Right? Figure that out, and then take the goals that you made earlier, and make sure those goals work on the personality traits and the lifestyle you want. So make sure the goals and the things you're going to go do physically in your life to create the world you want also matches up with the kind of person you want to become. It's not that hard. It's really that easy. So figure out who you want to be. Make sure your goals match up with creating that person, and go get to work on reinventing yourself. Have a blast. You have the ability as a person to create the life you want, and more importantly, the person you want to become, but you also have the ability to not do it. You have the ability to find excuses as well as you do the ability to take action. I'm going to leave you with this. This is up to you. You see, my bad habits back in the day, I didn't do anything. I wrote out goals, I didn't do anything, and I became the person I didn't want to become. And I'm ashamed of it, but I've let him go by replacing all those marbles, and I could go on forever. Listen, it starts with all your goals of those listed out of things you want to attain next year, and make sure it matches up with who you want to become. So, click like if if you like this. Share it with people that need to see it. Even yourself daily if you need to re-see it to start working on yourself, reinventing yourself. But more importantly, why don't you comment below this and say, in 2013, here's the 5 qualities I'm going to possess. Possess, and I mean that. I'm going to learn and possess. Decide to do it. Do not just learn from this video and go, I'm going to go change my life now. First, list out who you're going to become so the world can see it. We'll hold you accountable. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go work more on myself and learn from other people. That's what I'm going to do today. So.